Hello horror hounds, welcome to my horror house. This is a very special video for me, so I'm going to concentrate and give you all the details first, and then I'll ramble and get personal later because this is going to be a rambly one. But the headline banner news is that new horror short story anthology Local Haunts is available from today, the 1st of October 2020. You can get it on your Kindle device through Amazon for just less than £3, much less than the price of a pint, and just slightly less than £8 sterling to get this. I'm so happy to be holding this in my hands. Meaty, almost 300 page, 19 short stories. It's called Local Haunts, a Horrortube Anthology, because all of those stories are written by people in our community, booktubers and horror tubers. One of them is me. I've got a story in this and I can't stop grinning. It feels almost unreal. It's kind of like being a dream of mine. That's for the rambling section. Facts, facts, facts. One of the greatest things about this is that all the profits from the sale of Local Haunts will go to a non-profit organisation called First Book, and their remit is that education is the best way out of poverty. They provide books, educational resources, food, winter coats for children. They reach 5 million kids a year. I feel I can go really hard promoting this, and the self-serving aspect of it is kind of like an added bonus, because that the proceeds going to such a worthwhile cause mean that I don't have to be all British and feel embarrassed about selling this. I've had the great fortune of reading a PDF proof copy of this, so even though it's just come out today and I just got this copy yesterday, I've read the stories in here. There's some stuff in here that I'm just proud as punch that my little story is in the company of some of these stories I had a real blast with. It's the brainchild of Regina St. Clair, who I know an awful lot of you will know, because people who watch me will also watch her channel, Regina's Haunted Library, which has been a friend to my channel for a long time. She's got a story in here. I mean, I'm not telling tales out of school. I really like her story. I've emailed her and told her as much. I really like her story in this. So she's got a story. She put the call out. She's got a giveaway. Actually, at the moment, she's giving away 3 digital copies of this, and later on, she'll be giving away some doing a giveaway for some printed copies. So I'll link to her video so you can get all the details there and join that giveaway if you want to chance your arm at getting a free digital copy. Oh, Jesus, I started rambling way sooner than I intended to. I'm really sorry. I'm just so excited. There are some really funny, funky stories. There are some really touching stories in here, some really spooky stories. There are some high octane, a couple of really high octane stories in here. Calm down. I will link you below with where you can get this, Amazon UK and Amazon US. I'll put in the links of the YouTube channels of all the contributors as well. Some of these people you may already be following. You may already know. Lydia Peever from Typical Books has got a story in here, and another rather excellent story that I also messaged her about and told her how much I liked it, and yeah, I really did. Writing, getting something published, just doing it for the enjoyment of it, even though I used to really bash my head against a wall doing it, was for the largest chunk of my life an absolute personal dream of mine, and for various reasons that I won't touch upon here, it was a dream that I jettisoned. I sort of let it go about 12 or 13 years ago. I tried to draw a line under it and move on, and one of the reasons that this channel exists, you know, for better or for worse, is that it was to fill that hole, to still sort of engage with horror. I mean, I'm never not going to be a horror fan, but I stopped trying to create quite a long time ago now, and I started this channel as a way to sort of fill that void. And what has happened is that I hear from all of you fucking lovely people. We all know that horror fans are the best fan community in the world, and we all know that horror fans are some of the loveliest people in the world, plus me. And because of the opportunity that Regina gave us, and because of you guys and your comments and your feedback and the conversations we have in comments down below, and the chats some of you and I have over on Twitter, it's because of all of that that when Regina sort of announced this anthology, I thought for the first time in over a decade, shall I try and string some words together again? Shall I try and start with a blank page and put some words one after another and see if I can come up with a story? I never would have done it. I'd have left that dream absolutely in the dust. I never would have done it without fucking all of you. And I'm sorry this is getting a bit mushy, but the idea that I've got a story now published in an anthology of YouTubers, of booktubers, of horror-tubers is to me so deliciously perfect, so kind of poetic. It just makes me really happy, and I have Regina to thank for that. Thanks for coming up with the idea. Thanks for organising it all, putting it all together. So this thing now exists. This thing exists, and I've got a little part in it. I'm one of the 19 stories in this, which is really cool for me. By the way, I've read a couple of Regina's books, Fashion Victims, which I really love. If I was part of me wishes I was a filmmaker, because I'd option this and I'd turn this into a giallo. Absolutely, a string of murders taking place in the high-end fashion world in the run-up to Fashion Week. You bet your ass I would turn this into a giallo movie. All the victims being killed by a big pair of golden scissor fashion awards. Yeah, hell yeah. And also Unmasked, which is a weird, twisted little fucked up story about a family all coming together at the behest of one of the elder siblings, world-renowned pop star Carla, who has more than a passing resemblance in my mind to a certain Madonna, and what happens when they all get together on that estate for a few days, if not a week, of enforced family therapy. I won't spoil any of it for you. Yeah, and you can read one of Regina's latest stories in here. And I'm in there, and it's nuts. It's nuts. So thanks to Regina, I not just stopped at this story. I've written 2-3 other stories since this. I'm going to carry on, even if nothing else comes of it. I've rediscovered the joy of it. I've rediscovered a passion for a dream I had that I thought was lost. And in such a shitty year as 2020 has been, that was the last thing I thought would happen. So if you're scouting round for Halloween gifts for yourself or your loved ones, you could do a lot worse than Local Haunts, a new horror short story anthology. And by all means, if you get it, leave a review on Amazon and Goodreads. If you want to leave a personal review anywhere on my channel here or on Twitter telling me that I suck, you're more than welcome to do that. I read my story last night. So crazy to see it in print. It's so weirdly different to see it in print than it is on the screen or sort of printed out hard copy to edit. My story is called Crowthorne, and I'll just leave you with a little tease of the opening paragraph of my story, Crowthorne. And Crowthorne had been on my mind for some time, so I wasn't surprised to find I'd been drifting closer towards the village I'd known as a girl. The notion that I could go back began as an idle daydream, but once the thought took root, it became inevitable that I would return to those childhood haunts of mine. What happens when that narrator returns to Crowthorne, and what happens in the 18 other spooky, scary, some of them downright gory stories, you can find out yourself and support a worthwhile cause by getting yourself a copy of Local Haunts. Check out the links for Regina's giveaway, and seeing as it's the 1st of October, happy Halloween season, horror hounds.